meta in a sense that it models all the models. Okay, so it's a meta model. Okay. Okay. So before I go into the next file, the beauty about Django is all these models you see here, these are database tables that Django will create to basically capture and store the data specific to that model. And I want to show you what that database look like quick. Okay, so what you're looking at here, this is Postgres. Okay, so we're using Postgres, so we're in Postgres right now. And what we have done is basically we have a Django DB, right, that we define in Postgres. In the Django DB, we have schemas to represent the various models in our application, right? So if you notice here, we have a user table in the database, right? So let's go into that quick. Let me do okay. So these are the current users in the database right now. Okay, there's only 2 users I created for demo purposes as I'm sitting here just to showcase. Okay, so this user table you see sitting here is mirrored in the user model here. Okay, same thing for the site. There's also a site table in the database. Okay, so there's a site table here. It has the columns that we described in the model, in the Django model, right? It has a name, description, and logo. So basically, what the model is a high-level description of a database table. Okay, so that's the beauty about Django. It takes models, it creates database tables for them, and then it stuck your data in there for you. Okay. Okay. So there's a site table. So if we say select star from Jannah site. Okay. So these are the sites we currently have in the database. Okay, let's go to boot. If you look here, there's a boot table, there's a boot model that we created in Django, and if you look in our database, there's also a table to represent boot layer data, and that table has these columns assigned to it. Okay, so if we select from that table, we say select star from Jannah site boot. Okay, so that's the current data we have in our site table. Okay, so the site table is a mirror of the boot model. Okay, so next let's go into the network model. So there's a network model here. That network model has a corresponding database entry or database table that represent it. So if we do a select from that, we're going to say select from Jannah site network. Right? So select star from Jannah site network, and you would see there, this is currently what we have on the Jannah site network table. Okay, so now let's check out the next model. So the next model would be the storage. So the storage model here also has a mirror table in the database called Jannah site storage, and it has these columns that we had assigned to it. So if I select star from Jannah site storage, okay, you'll see here it has just one entry for now. This is for demo purposes. Okay, so next let's go to the next model. So our next model is a compute model. So it would also have a database table to capture its data. So let's go to Jannah site compute. It has these columns for now that we've assigned to it. So let's do a select star from Jannah site compute. Okay. So it too just have one entry in there for now, for demo purposes. Okay. So next would be the UX model. So there should be a corresponding table in the database to capture data for that model. So if we take a look out here, you'll see it too has its ID, name, and description. So we're gonna come here, we're gonna say Jannah site. We're gonna select star from Jannah site UX. Okay, so that too has an entry there. Okay, so next in our model list would be feedback. So there should be also a database table for the feedback model. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so if we go to Jannah feedback, you'll see it too has its columns, right? So I'll select star from Jannah site feedback. Okay, so it too has some data entry for it, just for demo purposes. Okay, so last but not the least is the workflow model. So it's a model of the models. So let's go in there. You should see there's also a Jannah site workflow table. Okay, it has its columns. Okay, so if I go here and I say select star from Jannah site workflow, right, you will see here, it has all the other models accounted for. Okay, so basically that, what I wanted to do there is just to show that, okay, all our models have corresponding database tables to capture the data for that model, and that's basically how we persist the model. Okay, so each one of these models has an admin interface. Okay, so that's what this file. So let's go now. So what we just did, we went to our models.py file. So we've reviewed this models.py file. Okay.